What up, guys? That Comic Awesome here, doing another review, doing The Amazing Spider-Man 799. Oh man, we're about to hit the milestone, and I will say, this going down swinging storyline, it's intense. Like, I would not have expected something like this from Dan Slott. Now granted, it has been kind of light on the Spider-Man, this not being the exception. It is light on the Spider-Man action, but the story, the actual dialogue, I was reading this and I felt like I was like on the edge of my seat, and then the last page, I'm not going to show the last page, was super creepy, and I am creeped out to see what issue 800 has to bring. So the story thus far, if you can't tell by the cover, is Norman Osborn has fused with the Carnage symbiote to make himself the Red Goblin. He has found out that Peter Parker is Spider-Man. He has told him, he made a deal with Pete. He said, if you stop being Spider-Man, I won't kill the people you love. I won't kill Mary Jane. I won't kill your Aunt May. I won't kill any of them. But you have to stop being... He's like, I have no qualm with Peter Parker. I only have beef with Spider-Man. So at the end of the last issue was probably one of my favorite pages of late, where, Pete kind of was burning his Spider-Man costume to where Norman could see it. But then there was a panel, and it showed Pete, and he's like, look, he's like, you just, I may not be Spider-Man, but you just, I'm still the man inside the costume, and I'm coming for you. And I was like, boom, got it. So this picks up kind of where that left off, where Pete is kind of being the man in the chair, because he is injured. His leg is hurt after the last issue, but he has kind of gathered his friends to keep an eye on those he cares about. So, he's got Human Torch looking after Mary Jane, Miles looking after Aunt May, Silk is, taking care of the people at the Bugle, and there's one line of dialogue that I had issue with, and it goes back to this right here. He says, hey, quick heads up, this is a party line, so no more calling me Pete. I'm about to call some in that don't know, that aren't in on the secret identity. So that's fine. So he calls Flash Thompson, who just rescued JJ from Norman's hideout. He calls Clayton Cole, who I can't remember, Clash is his name, who has like sonic powers, to go look after Harry Osborn. Meanwhile, Osborn and Liz Allen are looking for their kids. She, like a complete psycho, put a microchip in her kids so they could GPS track them, which, I guess billionaires, just see their kids as pets. Most of them put them on leashes anyway, so, sure, why not? I did like this too. JJ gets back to his apartment, calls Pete, and he's like, I'm sorry, this is all my fault. Like, I slipped up, and I gave him your identity, and I just love this look. Pete's like, click, goodbye. I wish, and again, this is an editor note maybe, that there was some indication, like a beep or something, that like Pete hung up on him, because, it's just like, you give me something that's just like, oh, nope, click, sign off. So you get some really good fight scenes between the Goblin, this Goblin looks insane. I do like him. I like him a lot. So Torch and Clash, of course, fire and sonic waves. You'd think, oh man, we're gonna like totally bust up this symbiote's thing. But Norman has fused the Goblin serum in with Carnage, so now he is immune to those types of attacks. So it's pretty much all, as he puts it, all the strength, none of the weaknesses. So Miles and Silk come in now. Miles tries his like venom sting. It does nothing. Finally, Flash shows up as anti-venom, and I want to say it irritated me, but it didn't, because Flash is the same type of guy, like a stand-up guy, just like Pete, when he does this. So he's fighting the Goblin, and he's like, look, you can heal the people around you that are dying. And of course, as he does, Goblin attacks him and pretty much takes Flash out of the fight. Here's the dialogue that irritated me. Where is it? Oh, right here. So again, Pete's like, hey, look, don't call me Pete on this line, because there are people who don't know my secret identity. So Johnny and Clash, what's going on? Talk to me. So they just got down. Now Silk says, Pete, this is Silk. They're both down. So now everyone on that call knows this is Pete. And he doesn't even say, like, hey, don't use my name. He's just completely fine with it. Again, an editor mistake. Like, should have picked that up. All you had to do is change Pete to Spidey. No issue. But so Flash ends up kind of falling for the same type of trap that Pete would. He decides to help his friends instead of attacking Carnage, even though the anti-venom suit does affect the Carnage symbiote. This is the other piece that I didn't understand. Right here. So he's swinging in, kind of a little late to the action, and somebody's like, ew, what's wrong with his leg? Which, this would have been fine if this was a close-up and you could see maybe he was wearing a brace or something, or if there was like a blood spot like on his leg from like where he was bleeding. But like you can't really see, maybe he's favoring it here, but like not to the point of, ew, what's wrong with his leg? Like, I don't, come on, again, that's an editor's mistake. Something simple. Give me some sort of damage on his leg for somebody to say ew about. But needless to say, Flash is able to heal him with his anti-venom suit. And I kind of like this. I'm trying to get our best player off the bench and back in the game. Man, I know I probably never thought I would say this, but if you're not reading this series, I'm not even saying Amazing Spider-Man, but if you're not reading the Going Down Swinging, you should be. Next issue should be epic, like crazy good. Again, when you get to the last panel of this book, super creepy. But yeah, subscribe over here, watch some more videos, hit me up in the comments, let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you next time.